Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into the timeless philosophy of Napoleon Hill to uncover how intangible thoughts can actually manifest into physical reality and wealth. If you've ever wondered exactly how the great fortunes of the 20th century were built and what psychological frameworks really made them possible, you are in exactly the right place. Now, think about this. What is the actual secret formula that built the biggest fortunes in American history? It's kind of a profound mystery. We're talking about a secret passed directly from the legendary steel magnate Andrew Carnegie to a very young Napoleon Hill. It's a formula that's been tested by hundreds of millionaires over decades. Yet Carnegie insisted it never be explicitly named in the text. Why? Simply so that you can discover it yourself, right when your mind is truly ready for it. Part 1. The Carnegie Secret. Uncovering the Mystery of Wealth. So here's the absolute baseline. All achievement, all earned riches, they literally begin with just an idea. Before the giant United States Steel Corporation existed, or before Henry Ford's V8 engine revolutionized how we travel, those massive physical achievements had to first exist solely as a simple, intangible thought in someone's head. Wealth doesn't start with money. It doesn't even start with formal education. Thomas Edison had exactly 3 months of schooling. It all kicks off with that single, powerful spark of an idea. Part 2. The power of burning desire. Thoughts are things. But listen, an idea by itself, not gonna cut it. To become real, it has to be backed by a relentless obsession. There's a massive difference between just hoping for wealth and absolutely demanding it. A mere wish is super passive, right? You hit an obstacle and you just back out. But a burning desire, that's active manifestation. It requires absolute definiteness of purpose. You have to be willing to literally burn your ships, cut off all retreat, and make victory your only option. Think about the legendary Chicago merchant Marshall Field. When his huge store completely burned down in the Great Chicago Fire, most merchants just packed up and left. Not Field. He pointed at the smoking ruins and vowed he'd build the world's greatest store on that exact spot, no matter how many times it burned down. That is what a burning desire actually looks like. And if you want proof of the sheer grit it takes to turn that desire into reality, look at the quest of Edwin C. Barnes. The guy was obsessed with working with Thomas Edison, not just for him. Step 1, he literally hops on a freight train to Edison's lab, showing up looking like a total tramp. Step 2, he takes this super low-paying menial office job just to get his foot in the door. Then step 3, 5 years pass, half a decade. But he never lost that rock-solid belief that he was already Edison's partner in his mind. Finally, step 4 hits. The opportunity shows up, but it's disguised as this totally unappealing dictating machine called the Ediphone. Nobody else wanted to sell the thing, but Barnes stepped up, sold it like crazy, and secured that legendary partnership. He literally fought his way into a fortune. Part 3. 3 feet from gold. The danger of quitting. So we've seen the power of persistence, but what happens when you throw in the towel just a little too early? The number 3 represents just 3 feet. That is the exact distance R.U. Darby's uncles stopped drilling before completely missing out on one of the richest veins of gold in Colorado history. They hit a rich vein, bought all this expensive machinery, and then the ore just vanished. So frustrated, they quit. They sold all their heavy machinery to a junkman for a couple $100. But here's the kicker. That junkman was smart enough to bring in an expert engineer. The engineer did the math and realized the gold would pick right back up exactly 3 feet from where the Darby stopped digging. The junkman made absolute millions, all because he didn't quit when faced with a temporary setback. As Hill so perfectly puts it, failure is a trickster with a keen sense of irony and cunning. It takes great delight in tripping one when success is almost within reach. Now, to be fair, Darby didn't let this ruin him. He took that brutal lesson and used it to build $1 million life insurance business, basically promising himself he'd never accept no for an answer again. But man, it remains such a stark reminder of the danger of quitting. Part 4. Faith and autosuggestion, fueling desire with belief. Okay, so how do you actually push past that urge to quit and keep that fire alive? It comes down to autosuggestion. Basically, this is the psychological bridge that takes your physical desires and turns them into reality. You do this by repeatedly feeding your subconscious mind with absolute faith. Here's the thing, your subconscious doesn't judge. It just acts on whatever dominating thoughts you give it. If you feed it fear, it translates that into misfortune. But if you intentionally feed it a burning desire mixed with total belief, it creates this magnetic pull that attracts the exact plans and opportunities you need. And we are talking industrial scale results here. Take Charles M. Schwab. He envisioned this massive, unprecedented steel monopoly. He mixed that idea with incredible faith, stood up and delivered a 90-minute speech at a dinner attended by the absolute titan of Wall Street, J.P. Morgan. Through pure, unshakable belief and crystal-clear vision, Schwab actually convinced Morgan to buy out Andrew Carnegie, instantly manifesting the billion-dollar United States Steel Corporation. But it's not just about big business. It applies on an incredibly personal level, too. Hill actually used this exact same principle of unwavering faith on his own son, Blair. Born without physical ears, the doctors told Hill his boy would be a deaf-mute for his entire life. But Hill just flat-out refused to accept that reality. Through relentless autosuggestion, literally weaving these bedtime stories that framed his son's condition as a secret advantage, Hill planted a burning desire for normal hearing deep in the kid's mind. And it worked. That deeply rooted belief pushed his son, years later in college, to test out a specific bone conduction hearing device. It completely changed his world and led him to a massively successful career helping the deaf. Part 5. The Formula for Riches, the Actionable Payload. All right, we've talked concepts and evidence. Now let's get into the actual actionable payload. These are the precise 6 steps, literally approved by Andrew Carnegie and Thomas Edison, to turn your intangible desires into physical riches. Number 1. Fix the exact amount of money you desire. Don't just say, oh, I want plenty of money. Be super specific. Number 2, determine exactly what you're going to give in return, because you can't get something for nothing. Number 3, set a definite date to possess it. Number 4, create a solid plan and take action immediately, even if you don't feel ready. Number 5, write out a clear, concise statement of all these details. And number 6, this is the real secret sauce, read that statement out loud twice a day. Once before bed, once when you wake up. And while you read it, you have to truly see, feel, and believe that you already have the money. Now, to actually fuel those 6 steps, you need to wire your mind using this 5-point self-confidence formula, repeating it every single day. You have to demand persistent action from yourself toward your definite purpose. You need to spend time daily concentrating on a mental picture of the exact person you intend to become. Demand self-confidence through autosuggestion. Write down your definite chief aim in life. And crucially, build your success on truth and justice. You have to eliminate negativity and genuinely serve others, because honestly, a toxic attitude toward humanity is never, ever going to bring you lasting success. As we wrap up this explainer, I really want you to let this powerful thought sink in. Success begins with a fellow's will. It's all in the state of mind. We are the masters of our fate. We're the captains of our souls, simply because we have the power to control our thoughts. The ether around us adapts to the very nature of the thoughts we choose to hold on to. So, taking all of this in, I have to ask you, what burning desire are you going to plant in your mind today to alter your physical reality tomorrow?